Hi, you're back. In the first part of this video, we talked about how your vocabulary affects certain aspects of communication. How about reading comprehension? Well, I'm sure you know the feeling. You're focusing on understanding some new material when epistemological lacunae in the vernacular, words you don't know, keep getting in the way. And the whole purpose of reading is to understand and learn something from it. When words you don't understand keep slowing you down, how much can you actually learn? How many words would you need to know so that never happens? How many words do most people know anyway? Welcome back to Snap Language. So, we read to understand the content, right? Then, why don't writers use words that everyone understands? Why does written language have so many big words? You see, good writers are aware of word choice, so they choose the words very carefully to express their ideas precisely. Good writers are also aware of linguistic registers, so they expect the people reading their writing should know those words. Their readers actually expect to see those words. But still, if for whatever reason you can't understand the words, vocabulary becomes a problem. So, what's the solution? Well, ironically, read. Reading helps you learn vocabulary. People who read a lot have good vocabulary because they read a lot. So they're exposed to vocabulary words that you don't hear or use every day. And what should you read? Read about everything. When you read about music, you learn vocabulary related to music. When you read a lot about history or pop culture, you will learn vocabulary that appear in those areas or subjects. Also, when you read in different sources, such as blogs, magazines, journal articles, and so on, you learn vocabulary that tends to appear in that type of publications. Reading a variety of materials gives you the opportunity to see a wide range of specific vocabulary words. As a bonus, you also acquire general knowledge about the world, which then helps you understand what you read in the future because you likely already know something about the topic. And simply taking an interest in words helps too. Just paying attention to new things, anything, makes you more likely to notice and learn them. Be careful though. Don't obsess about vocabulary, especially when your purpose for reading is to understand and learn the content. There's a time to learn content and a time to learn vocabulary. Don't try to do both at the same time. You can always underline or highlight new words and go back to them, but only after you've finished reading. We'll cover ways to learn vocabulary in another video. Now, on to the big question: how many words do most people know? Well, it depends. It depends on your age and level of education. In an old study, developmental psychologists Betty Hart and Todd Risley found that by age 3, children already knew at least 500 words, but children whose caregivers had the opportunity to talk to them a lot learned as many as 1,100 words. A native speaker of English knows about 12,000 unique words in their freshman year in college. By the time they graduate, they know an average of about 17,000 unique words. Whoa, if you do the math, you learn over 5,000 words in college. On average, that's over 1,000 words a year. You may have guessed one of the reasons you learn that many words in college is you're required to read a lot. As you get older, you don't learn new words as quickly as that, but your vocabulary keeps growing as long as you stay interested, read, and learn new things. So, an educated adult native speaker of English might know between 30,000 and 40,000 words. That's a lot of words, but it happens over many years, and you can help the process along by reading a lot and creating opportunities for yourself to learn new words. Would you like to estimate the size of your vocabulary? Visit the Test Your Vocabulary website. Take their test and let us know in the comments what your score was. Personally, I think that taking a general interest in the world around you keeps you learning everything, including vocabulary. I think it's about balance, reading all sorts of things from textbooks and comic books to journal articles and social media publications, reading to learn and reading for fun, watching good documentaries, movies, plays. It's about being connected, engaging yourself in all that's out there, and creating for yourself a balanced exposure to the language in different areas and different linguistic registers. But no matter how many words you know, there are hundreds of thousands of words in the English language, so you'll always end up running into words you don't know. In upcoming videos, we'll go over ways that you can use context clues to figure out the meaning of words without interrupting your reading or learning. In the meantime, be part of our community of learners and share your experience in the comments. Besides reading a lot, how do you learn vocabulary? How do you think developing good vocabulary can be a personal and professional advantage for you out there? And do me a favor and subscribe to the Snap Language YouTube channel, like our videos, and help this channel grow so we can continue producing quality videos for you. Until the next time, thanks for stopping by and watching this video.
So, it is important that you learn vocabulary. And one of the reasons why we have the article of the day is for you to kind of branch out and read different kinds of things, find things that you're interested in, learn new vocabulary in different topic areas. Okay. So, for this unit, you actually will be getting ready to take your test. Your test is tomorrow. Review your notes and study for your unit test. You do not have a review test to take, so just study your notes. If you didn't take notes, you probably should be taking notes for all of your lessons. So you might want to go back and just kind of review through your lessons so that you can take your test tomorrow. Okay. Make sure you understand the racist strategy so you can use it to answer all the open response questions on your test. Remember, restate the question and answer it. That's usually 1 to 2 sentences. So that's when you're using words from the prompt and you're identifying, your answer in that particular sentence. Remember not to use the word I think. When you write your responses should be formal and they should be in third person. Okay, so just write it as a statement. And then cite your evidence from the text. So remember, almost every time you have a question, it's going to tell you cite evidence from the text. So even if it doesn't say it, you really should cite evidence from the text. And for our class, it will give you something to read, and then it will ask you a question, and you'll answer the question, and then you'll cite evidence from the text that you read, and then explain. That's the third thing. Explain how your evidence supports your answer or relates back to this answer. Okay, so make it clear when you're putting a quote or something in there. How is that quote supporting what you're saying? Okay, or if you summarize or paraphrase, how in that explain how that supports your answer here. And then the last thing is sum it up. Just summarize your main point. Make sure you tie up any loose ends if you need to, if you didn't do it at this point. But for open response questions, you really need to write a paragraph response. Okay, that's usually at least a minimum of 3 sentences, unless it tells you otherwise, but it's 3 to 5 sentences at minimum. Okay, typically a paragraph is 5 to 7 sentences, and especially in middle school, that should be pretty easy for you guys to write at this point, because guys, a 5-paragraph essay is actually a 3rd grade standard. That's a lot of writing, but just keep in mind that 1 paragraph is a very short response. That's what you learn to write in kindergarten. Okay, so middle schoolers, write the paragraph. All right, guys, get ready for your test, study, be ready for your test tomorrow.